think everyone plug that or charger that has more than one.
Shit for brains.
Yeah.
Has been going to St. John.
How does she go there?
Her husband.
Oh, so she's not so shit for brains. She's got.
So one of my childhood friends, she was my best friend growing up in Arkansas, and every summer when I would go back, she would spend like the whole summer with me, and we would go on, my dad would run in different towns every weekend, so we would just stay in different places like all over Arkansas, and she would always be with us. And my dad, even when she was like, I don't know, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, always called her shit for brains.
Shit for brains?
Yes. And yes. And
she laughs about it
and
too.
Still to this day, like if she sees a picture of my dad or something, and she's also good friends with my brother now that we're older, but she'll always be like, tell your dad that shit for brains said hello. And
why did he call her that?
I don't know. My dad has.
Because she was probably an idiot.
Well, she was kind of a little bit of an idiot. But
And it was very awkward for me being down there, and then he called it right to her face. I said, oh my goodness. Oh my
Because at first he thought that it was just like something that we called her, like, and she didn't know or something.
But he said it right
and
to
then
her
my dad
face.
got to the bar and he's like, shit for brains. I didn't know you were going to be here.
And I think Jeremy was trying to hook up with shit for brains.
Yeah, he was, my brother. But like, what is he? I mean, he has all kinds of probably not appropriate names for his kids on the school bus and stuff, and that would never fly here, you know, but there's like, so he has a set of twins that have been on his bus forever, and the boy's name is Evan. I don't even know the little girl's name because he calls them even and uneven. And yeah, I mean, he always has, but it's kind of like a term of endearment, you know, like if he doesn't give you an almost offensive nickname, then he maybe doesn't like you. But yeah, anyway, she is now remarried to what seems like a really nice guy. I even talked to her mom recently, and Tiffany, my sister Tiffany, is good friends with Alicia, is her real name. Alicia's mom.
Oh,
and they all really like him. But I think he must have a timeshare there, and they've been going there like at least once a year, and all her pictures are beautiful. And,
okay, wow.
And then the fancy girl in front of us was talking about how St. John is her favorite island, and she loves all the islands. We had this on the way down here, the second flight. There was this girl in front of us. As soon as she got on the plane,
she wasn't even sitting down yet.
No, she had just like barely gone to St. John. She goes, oh my gosh, this is the worst plane I've ever been on.
I'm like in my head, like,
this
girl,
plane is horrible.
You're in coach. What do you expect?
Right.
This was on the way here?
Yeah.
From Charlotte.
One of the dentist people?
No, she was the one
she
girl
was sitting next to those girls.
like at the window that wasn't with those girls. But she's like, this is the worst plane I've ever been on. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna cry.
Yeah,
and she just kept going, oh, look at the monkey.
Oh, you know what? Wow, I rarely see monkeys here, but I know they exist. Rarely seen them.
They don't encourage them to mate.
Watch out for the lizard.
He's not very fast,
He's going back to tell his friends, like, see, I told her I can get him to stop.
But yeah, she was, and then like,
what was wrong with the plane?
oh, I don't know, but she was like from New York. She had on like all these big diamond rings, so much filler in her face that it barely moved. You know, she was just one of those people. Right, and that's what I was thinking too.
I was like, maybe she's always used to flying.
But then it was funny because we kind of had this whole like notion about her that she was just like, oh, such a horrible person. And then as we were getting off, she was on her phone, and I saw that she had, the background of her phone was her taking a selfie with Trump. And then Michael didn't think she was so bad.
I was like, well, she can't be that bad.
Well, then I also saw she had a cat ring, a super cool cat ring that was like made of diamonds. I'm like, that's pretty cool. But she was like, she knew a lot about St. Martin, and she said she'd been here like a million times, but she also goes to St. Bart's, which makes sense. But she was talking about, she's like, I just love the islands. I love the islands.
Yeah,
and
it's like, no shit.
And but then she was saying, she's like, have you ever been to St. John or St. Thomas? She said that's kind of like is it Antigua or Antilla? Anguilla, yeah. She said like St. John and St. Thomas are kind of like Anguilla and St. Martin. Like
Anguilla barely has any roads and stuff, right?
Well, I think that's what she was saying. Like a lot of people, like St. Thomas is a lot more touristy, but St. John is just very like local, small island and not as like traveled.
We took a boat ride there. Rainer, all I saw was a beach, but like St. Thomas.
But even St. Thomas, I would like to go to.
Yeah, St. Thomas. Uncle Greg's nephew lives there.
Oh wow.
But St. Thomas.
He lives there?
Not so safe.
Really?
We're safe.
We only have gone on a cruise, but you gotta know obviously. I think a little greener.
But yeah, it seems like I'll have to talk to shit for brains about it, but it seems like St. John is kind of like their St. Martin. Like they've been going there like every year since she's been with this guy, but her pictures are incredibly beautiful.
Yeah,
it's really pretty.
I think that both St. Thomas, St. John are more lush.
Oh shit, I think that's supposed to
here, this is greener than Longhorn. It's been raining, but it's got like a semi-arid touch to it.
But there's lots of places I want to go.
That's in our timeshare.
I do really want to go to Hawaii and explore Kauai mostly.
Yeah, Hawaii would be cool.
There's timeshares there, right?
Yeah, Hawaii, it's just the flight is so expensive always.
Yeah, long. You gotta fly to LA. You gotta fly to Cali, and then you gotta fly from there.
Right. It's almost worth like flying to Cali, like spending the night and then doing your flight.
Right. Yeah, so it's not like.
Because it's a lot of travel.
Yeah, Hawaii.
You what?
I love Hawaii.
Yeah. That's what my grandma and Dave went, gosh, probably at least like 6 times, I think. And like one time they just went to the Big Island, and then the second time they went to Kauai, and they loved Kauai, so then they went back, but then they also did some of the other smaller islands.
Maui. They probably did Maui.
Yeah, they did Maui.
Should I go around to the right and park where we usually do?
Yeah. Hawaii, they do have the big Marriott, which used to be the Hotel.
Right, which I think is, yeah, I think,
Hotel. That one's a tall one. But when you get down to Poison Beach, you can't not even across the big tree.
oh wow,
It's a nice,
yeah.
and they got a really nice Marriott there. Hyatt, where they stay with Rainer.
Where should I park? I'm like up yonder where you normally do, or
Well, usually
around this to the straight?
around here, it's free. So that's what's nice about this. You might pass the park. Yeah, there's the police station.
Okay, so back around
Yeah,
that.
go around the circle.
Not over there. Sometimes it feels like a little smaller the more I've come here. Like,
I think you gotta go down there.
yeah. Okay, yeah. The island seemed a lot bigger when I was younger.
Oh,
When you're like first year. It's like, damn, you can really get anywhere so quick.
This isn't the area Phillipsburg I remember.
well, I remember I thought our house in Chicago was so big.
We'll go maybe like,
But I was hard to get. It's pretty
sometimes we haven't been able to find a spot. Sometimes we can't even find like a
Right.
spot. This will be nice, not many people at all. See if we can get some shade. Yeah, see they pull all the way into the shade.
There's one at the very end right
Hey, there's my police car.
here.
Getting the shade.
Keep that police car.